Erased from the family, I stayed silent. When everything fell apart, they came running to me. I always felt like a ghost present but unnoticed, fading into the background. My parents praised my cousins for their achievements, while I was simply there, always overlooked. But I never imagined just how ruthless they could be until the day my grandfather's will was read. The conference room was a cathedral of wealth, its dark mahogany walls and ornate chandeliers a silent testament to generations of legacy. The scent of old books mixed with the sterile chill of air conditioning, as though the very room itself was designed to make the unwelcome feel smaller. My aunt, seated beside me, turned to look at me, her expression one of well-practiced pity, but there was something sharper behind it, something she didn't even try to hide. "This is what's best for the family," my aunt murmured, her voice dripping with false sweetness. I turned to her, my jaw tightening. Funny. Grandpa didn't seem to think I was a problem when he was alive. The implication was clear: I wasn't truly part of it. Not in their eyes. 4 years, while they spent their time traveling the world, attending galas, and holding elaborate dinner parties, I had been by my grandfather's side. I drove him to doctor's appointments, listened to his war stories, and made sure he was never alone in his final years. He had always told me that I was the one he trusted most. That I was different. I was the one who listened to his voice crack as he told those old stories. I was the one who held his hand when the pain in his chest became too much. He never said it out loud, but I could feel it. I knew I mattered. But to them, I was invisible. And yet, as the lawyer began reading his will, my name was conspicuously absent. The estate, the lakeside retreat, and the car collection shall go to Andrew and his children. The lawyer read. My heart sank. It wasn't just an oversight. It was an erasure. "There must be some mistake," I murmured, my grip on the chair tightening. I could feel the heat rise in my cheeks as I looked around the room, trying to keep my composure. But the words felt like a slap in the face. "Grandpa updated his will last year," Cousin Mark said, with that arrogant, lazy smirk. "He wanted to keep everything in the family." I stared at him. The family. As if I were an outsider, an intruder in my own bloodline. My stomach twisted. I had been here. Always. But somehow, I wasn't part of it. I turned to my uncle, whose eyes were cold and indifferent. "It's not personal. Just how things are done," said my uncle. I could feel my fists clench under the table. "How convenient," I muttered, forcing a tight smile. "For you." But I refused to let them see me break. Instead, I stood up slowly, straightening my jacket with deliberate precision, and walked out of the room with my head high. My uncle called after me. "What, you're just going to run off? No fight?" I turned slightly, a faint smirk tugging at my lips. "Oh, I'm not running. I just don't waste my time on things that don't matter." Let them believe they had won. Let them revel in their hollow victory. Because what they didn't know, what none of them had ever bothered to ask, was that my grandfather had always been a step ahead of them. And 3 years before his passing, he had already secured my place in his legacy. While they celebrated their inheritance, I held the true key to their wealth, the intellectual property rights to the company Grandpa had built from the ground up. It wasn't just a sentimental gift. It was the very foundation of their fortune, the mechanism that sustained their lavish lifestyles. They had no idea. I let them celebrate, let them pop their champagne and toast to their supposed triumph. Meanwhile, I sat in a quiet cafe, phone in hand, dialing my lawyer. "Let's begin reviewing the assets. It's time." The brilliance of my grandfather's strategy lay in one devastating truth. I held the exclusive licensing rights to every single patent and product that fueled their empire. Without my authorization, their revenue stream would vanish overnight. Weeks passed before the first cracks began to show. An email arrived from my uncle, his tone deceptively casual. "We need to discuss licensing renewals. Just a simple formality. Your signature is required." I stared at the email, my finger hovering over the delete button. But I didn't respond. Then came a follow-up. This time, the message came from their attorney. Your refusal to cooperate is causing financial distress for the company. We strongly urge you to act in the best interest of the family." I nearly laughed out loud. The audacity was almost admirable. The phone calls started next. First, my aunt, her voice thick with feigned warmth. "Sweetheart, we really need to talk. It's about the company, your signature on the licensing. Can we please work this out?" Then Mark, who tried too hard to sound concerned. "Come on, don't be like this. We're family. This isn't about the money, it's about Grandpa's legacy." Finally, my uncle, his patience worn thin, his voice rising in frustration. "This company is our family's legacy. Grandpa never would have wanted you to be so selfish." I let the silence hang. My heart was steady, my resolve even firmer. Selfish? Like erasing me from his will. The silence that followed was delicious, a momentary crack in their perfect facade. Then came the bargaining. My uncle sighed heavily. "Perhaps we should revisit the estate. You deserve a fair share. Let's discuss it. But first, let's finalize the licensing agreement." I smiled to myself, holding the phone to my ear as I leaned back in my chair. "I'll think about it." I did nothing. Their empire began to crumble. The company's stock dipped, whispers of financial instability spread, and investors grew wary. My once smug relatives were now frantic, scrambling to contain the damage. And then, the final stroke. I posted a single, cryptic message on social media. "Honored to uphold Grandpa's vision in the way he truly intended. Exciting changes ahead. Stay tuned." Let them chew on that. Let them figure out what it means. By the time they do, it will be too late. The internet did the rest. Speculation ran wild. Connections were drawn, and soon enough, their downfall became a matter of public knowledge. The beauty of it all? I never had to lift a finger. Their own greed had ensured their destruction. I simply let the truth take its course. The phone calls from my relatives became more frantic, and their messages more desperate. They begged, pleaded, tried to convince me that we were family, that this could be fixed. But it was too late. The world knew, and my revenge was complete. My uncle's text popped up on my phone. "We need to talk. It's not too late. You don't have to do this." I didn't respond. Watching their empire crumble so effortlessly, while I never had to do more than simply exist was, without a doubt, the most satisfying inheritance of all.
I appreciate you watching. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can stay informed about more jaw-dropping real-life stories unfolding around you.